To you, Albert, another great listing. Are y'all getting more calls from sellers? Some? Not too much? Daniel, you got a listing?
I got one coming up, hopefully Friday at Hidden Creek, in Lee County, 159, 1,350 square feet, over half an acre.
Oh. Okay.
Hidden Creek. Then Westminster, I have one coming up either this weekend, this week or next week. 2,600 something square feet for 234.
Okay. Very good. Congratulations, Daniel. Gerald?
Yeah, I've got a listing going live tomorrow in Cocoa Lake. It's a 6-month-old house. The owner has decided she doesn't like Columbus anymore, is going to move down the lake. And it's 1.15 building. It's on a lake. It's beautiful. It's 5,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's got a safe room. It's amazing. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff.
You're gonna have a agent's open house out there?
We were planning on it. We were going to do an agent's open house, an invitation only kind of thing, but she got so scared with the stuff going on now. She didn't want anybody to pick the house. We actually did a 3D walkthrough video.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So people can walk through the house that way online. And it's only available to show to people who are qualified.
Gotcha.
She wants as few people to the house as possible. She like one buyer, one sale kind of thing.
Just one look,
Yeah.
one contract. Yeah, full price, close in 7 days. Congratulations, that's a great listing, Gerald. Speaking of that, did anybody try to use that app Magic Plan to play with some floor plans? Anybody test that out?
We'll do it later this week.
Okay, we'll give us a report next week, Daniel. It's interesting you say that, Gerald. Some people have different opinions of what they're comfortable with, right? And if someone's not comfortable showing their home, then we've got to make sure we do everything to help someone see it without being there. And I believe if you do that, people don't actually have to view some of these homes. So maybe having a floor plan helps someone make a decision, or at least reduce the number of offers that aren't serious. Yeah, try that out, Daniel. I'm interested to see how it works for you. Alan, you had something you want to share from JR Magazine?
Yeah, we haven't been in a solar market for most all year. We have had, I'm sure, we've had a lot of buyers who have done things that, in order to try to purchase a home that they wouldn't normally do. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you had any of your buyers that had a case after they closed, a buyer's remorse?
Yes.
Well, I think this article addresses that, and it's particularly with the windows. But today, or through the best part of this year, we have had to do, buyers have had to do a lot of things in order to get the deal worked out. What GAR has come up with, and it's not on zip form yet, but it is a copy of it here in this article in the GAR magazine. It's a disclosure. Basically, it's a disclosure to buyer purchasing property in a solar market. And it's for our benefit. Basically, what it says is it highlights about 6, 7 things. First and foremost, a lot of buyers forego inspection, right? They forego the financing contingency. They are willing to pay a price higher than the appraisal. So and then we have 2 or 3 others. And what it's saying here is you may want to, and of course I'm sure most of you have advised your buyers that they should do inspection. You need to do that. You need to have buyer protection in there. I know it's not been possible, but the bottom line is they're our client and we represent them. Is it not our responsibility to do that? I think it is. So what I'm suggesting to you, if you have people that are anxious or have reservations you need to have this conversation with them before they sign the contract. And you can get a copy of this disclosure and just add it to the agreement. So when 6 months after they die, they're upset, they can't get real upset at you because you told them you should have done anything, right? Okay. Word of the wise.
Thank you, Alan. Has anybody read the GR this month's magazine? Some great articles in there.
Yeah.
Really, they've really stepped it up, try to be more relevant to what we're dealing with. Eddie's not here, so I'll let one of y'all report on the market. Who spoke with the lender this week? What rate did they quote your client, Christie?
I think I saw 2.580, look, I don't remember what it
It was under 3,
was. Yeah, 2.75.
2.75,
This was on a jumbo.
30-year?
What kind of-
This is on a.
I also have a comment. So we just came across on one of my listings, one of the buyers did not disclose that they were a Georgia Dream buyer.
Hmm.
And that just came up. So we're supposed to close on Friday, but we can't because Georgia Dream hasn't approved. Yeah.
That's other,
Yeah, so,
oh my gosh.
yeah, has anybody else like recently had buyers not fully disclose all contingencies on their financing?
There's really no place for that Georgia Dream to have no contract. I've had it happen several times, not really. Did they send you a pre-qual?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was not on the prequel,
Huh. No one mentioned it.
and no one mentioned it.
Then it's not contingent upon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean,
They could lose their earnest money.
they just unilaterally extend it till next week, but
Okay,
I mean,
so we got a few more days.
we're not gonna let them go past that. I just didn't know if anybody else was having any issues. Cause it goes back to buyers like trying to make their offer look better, and if you put Georgia Dream on there, obviously it doesn't look great.
At 2.65 on, jumbo.
Nice.
Wow, on a jumbo?
About 48 more.
My gosh.
That's Wells Fargo.
They still do loans? They still do loans? I'm kidding.
From out of town, yeah.
Be careful.
Well, it's, so let's think about that for 1 minute, and then we'll get on our presentation. A jumbo loan at 2.65. So how is this not a good time to move up? Even if, let's say that house at 600, has appreciated. So maybe a year ago, that house was in the 560s, right? Most people aren't paying cash for these larger homes. They're borrowing a significant amount of money. So maybe you want to help someone overcome the difference of, well, what is the payment on the difference, right? And if this house a year ago was 560 and now it's selling at 600 and your rate is 2.65, what is 2.65 payment on $40,000? Does anybody know what that is? Okay, this will be a test.
Over how many years?
Just for 30 years. And what is it going to cost them? So you have 40,000 for 30 years at 2.65%. $161 a month. That's what I got.
$40,000.
Hmm.
I've got 1,600. No,
Well, that would be annually.
I put too much in there.
So 2.65%, $100,000, 30-year fix, only costs you $161 a month. That's cheap.
Yeah, 161.
I mean, so not to say they aren't still overpaying, but let's be honest, who's going to live there for 30 years? The problem would only be if the market does turn a little bit, did they lose some equity, right? So it is important to put some money down on those larger homes, but you think about it, what if you were going to live there for 20 years? how would this not be an awesome time to move up? Even just 15 years. It's incredible. Most people aren't building big fancy homes and moving in less than 5 years. It happens. But if someone's been waiting to decide what to do, it could be a really great time for them to move up and buy their dream home. But most people aren't thinking that way because they have some preconceived conception about, as we talked last week, how's the market? Oh, it's crazy. There's no inventory. So busy. Well, the higher end market isn't as busy and crazy as the lower end market, right? You have some time to look. So I challenge y'all to go through your contacts and through your list of leads and see who's in that price range. 2.65. I mean, I might go buy a $600,000 house today. That's cheap. No, actually, no, I can't qualify. My credit is awful. My credit is terrible. Really, like, and I have no money. Will Georgia Dream do 565? Just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna build out the space behind here, and if you smell ramen noodles and you see a grill out back, you know I've moved in. All right, we're gonna get started. So today we're talking about things to stop doing. And just give you a disclaimer, selling real estate is not something we're gonna stop doing here at Bickerstaff Farm, so you can't say that. But I wanted to get your feedback on this question. You may be able to read it. It says, what is something you wish you had time to do? And I want you to think about why you first got into this business. I got into this business because I wanted to, what?
Play more golf.
Play more golf. Okay? You know, a lot of people say, attend my children's sporting events, family events. What's something else you wish you had more time to do?
Vacation.
Okay? What else? We're not gonna tell anybody outside of this room this is what you want to do with your free time, okay?
Read,
Read? Okay.
not real estate.
Okay. You want to read other things besides contracts? Yes, I get it. Okay. And what else? And this is a big one. Vacation. Just play or activities. I'm gonna say sleep. Exercise. Anything else? That is something.
Rest.
Yeah, maybe you wish you had more time to, relax. Okay. Anything else? For a lot of us, it seems like we believe there's never enough time. And I always find it interesting when new agents interview because they don't have any clients, they don't have any appointments, all they have is time. Then you get into this business and then you would pay, how much, Ruthie, what would you pay to be able to play golf and still maintain your business each week? Give it. Or who wish they had 2 hours this week to just relax and do nothing? Chantel, was that 500? Is that what that meant? Pay 500?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. It's so hard to put a price on that, right? But did you know that not having enough time is an illusion? How many hours in the day? How many hours in the week? 168. There's 168 hours in the week, 24 in a day. And, you know, I need to clean my office. And if you've been in my office is like really become a disaster area. But I'm hopefully going to start cleaning it up next week. And then when next week rolls around, I'm probably going to kick that to the week after that when I have some time. And you know, I just don't have time to do it. I mean, I do not have time to do it. I'm just so busy. I can't take 20 minutes and throw away the things on my desk that really don't need to be on my desk. However, when we're forced to do something, the time's there, right? When we're forced to have to deal with it, you're forced to go, you know, perfect example. I can tell you everyone who has not cleaned their car in weeks because it's parked out there and someone's cleaning it, right? You only had time to move your car 50 feet back there where it's probably gonna sit. I look into those cars, my truck is gonna sit there probably for 3 hours. So I don't need my car for 3 hours, but I don't have time to do it, right? But suddenly, because Taylor sends out an email and says, hey, car wash guy's here, all of us rushed down, parked our car out there, and we have time to get it done. So a paradox has emerged in the 21st century that, you know, we have this enhanced quality of life, but at the same time, we keep adding to our stress levels by taking on more than we have resources to handle, right? We want to keep doing more. I want to keep doing more. Technology's allowed us to be all places at once. We can Zoom, we can text, we can chat. And so, as y'all just acknowledged, there's still only 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week. We don't really have more time. We've just filled it up with other things. So our next question is, what do most people find themselves doing instead of what they are supposed to be doing? Think about that while I write this up. Let's say, what should you be doing? So I'll go first. So what do most people find themselves doing instead of what they're supposed to be doing? I'm gonna say, looking at hunting equipment. Who checked social media today already? Are you supposed to be doing that, Chantrell? You're not supposed to be doing that. What time do people start checking social media? First thing, like when you get up, as soon as you wake up, right? Like before you even make a cup of coffee. I just want to put that on here. Social media, surfing the web. You click on an Instagram ad and all of a sudden you're looking at a Solo stove or whatever other gadgets out there.
You're looking at some really fun things.
Yeah. And if you were just in between the point waiting for someone to call you back and you just wanted to see what was going on Facebook, because Facebook knows you haven't checked and your friends are going to leave you if you don't check social media several hundred times a day. They will know that you're not looking at it. So what do you think the greatest contributor to stress is?
Not allowed enough time to complete a task. It's one thing.
That is true.
It's being unorganized.
Inappropriately managed commitments that we make or accept, right?
I say yes.
Manage, that's another way of just saying, mismanaging our time, or what you said, Kappa. It's like, why did I say I was going to do that? Or why did I join this committee before figuring out what the obligations were? And now you don't have time to do any of that. Or why did I put that person in my car or meet with them before getting them pre-qualified? And now you're showing them property and you really should be doing something else. So Carrie Gleason says this consistent productive preoccupation with all things we have to do is the single largest consumer of time and energy. Who has a full schedule today? I mean, nobody else?
I'm not sure you're getting it.
Darn.
Even when it's not all on your Google Calendar, y'all are busy all day. I mean, y'all are doing stuff all day long, whether you plan to do that or not. I haven't seen anyone yet just up here taking a nap, just lounging around or asleep in your car, out back. Y'all are busy. If I saw you sleep in your car, I wouldn't say anything. So it's okay.
It's too hot.
Yeah, it is too hot.
Yes.
So if I'm a person that's wanting to, if there are things I want to start doing, and there's things that I shouldn't be doing, then how do I figure out how to stop doing some of these things and spend more time doing those? I'm going to give y'all some tips. First, you gotta identify what's necessary. What do I need to do today? What is necessary? Then what's possible? And then you've got to come up with a checklist on how you're going to put all those things together. So the key to stop doing things is hiding in your actions. So if I get up and check social media, literally before my feet hit the ground or walk to the kitchen to make coffee, what's an action I could do to prevent myself from doing that?
Not have your phone next to you.
Yeah, don't sleep with your phone. Get a stuffed animal or a big body pillow. I know that phone really keeps you comfortable at night when you wrap your arms around it. But yeah, you could. I promise you, if there's an emergency, you'll hear your phone in the kitchen just as much as you hear it next to your bed. I bought my kids alarm clocks because they wanted me to wake them up. It's like the alarm clocks they make today, they don't wake, they're not even loud. I mean, I need like a siren going off. But if you want to change your actions, think about that for a second. What are the things that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing, and what action is causing that? Maybe you need to leave your phone on, the dresser instead of your bedside table, or leave it in the kitchen, or wherever. However, whatever you're doing that you wish you would stop doing, you got to think about what's the action that's causing me to do that. So here's a couple of tips on the keys to stop doing things. When you wake up in the morning, think about what needs to happen right now. What needs to happen today? And those of you that come to the Tuesday classes, we talk about a lot of these, the daily habits. So what needs to happen now? And you can just make a little simple list when you get up. What can wait? Then on your now list, so what needs to happen now? What are the big important tasks? What do I need to get done today or this morning? And then I love this word. What are the piddly ones? Does anybody know what piddly means? Yeah. If you get up and just start looking, you can just go through your calendar, and if you're going through your warm list and hot list, your clients, we talk about that on your hot list. What does this person need to hear from me today? Maybe they just need to hear that the inspection is scheduled for Friday, or that an amendment, hey, I'm going to get an amendment this afternoon. But if you start your day off before you even start working, doing things that you shouldn't be doing, it is so hard to come back to doing the things that you should. So this is going to sound crazy, and you probably think this is communism at Bickerstaff Parham. But I promise you, if you don't check your social media account till 9 a.m., the world will continue revolving. Social media will still be there. You might actually feel better. You'll probably feel stressed out for the first couple of days. Oh my gosh, I haven't checked Instagram. I haven't checked Facebook. What have I missed? They're changing the algorithm every day. It's hard to even keep up with your real friends that are even on there. But just think what would happen if you got up in the morning and you kind of try to put your priorities first for the day. Because you can't do everything by yourself. And you got to stop thinking that you can. And so put your priorities first. Stop checking email, social media, till you've accomplished some of those tasks, or at least put together your list of things you want to do that day. Because this is the next challenge. I want y'all to take 3 minutes. Ever have a piece of paper or something to write on? I want y'all to think about what is one thing you're going to stop doing today. I'm not going to ask you to share it. If you want to write down 4 or 5 things, what's something you would, let me rephrase that, you want to stop doing today? Doesn't mean you're going to, but just what's one thing, if you could, you'd like to stop doing today? Could be coming to sales meetings on Wednesdays. Is it checking social media? Is it, I want to stop not exercising? I want to, I want to stop spending so much time with clients who aren't listening to me. I want to stop not going on vacation. I want to stop not planning. What are things you're going to stop? Things you're doing to be things that you wish you were doing. Maybe you want to stop worrying. My grandmother, and I've said this in meetings before, her name was Hart because she said she was so caring and she cared so much about everybody. Her real name wasn't Hart, it was Frances, but Hart sounded better than Frances, or sweeter. And she would worry about everyone. And she'd call me up. Somebody gave her my phone number in college, so she'd call my dorm, she'd call my apartment. She'd say, hey, I'm just thinking about you. Is everything okay? See, everything's fine. Well, don't you have exams next week? Yes, ma'am, I have exams. Well, aren't you worried about them? No, not really. She would worry about why I'm not worried. So I'm worried about you. I said, wow, because you're not worried about your exams next week. I thought, this woman prays 12 times a day and is like, let God, God's going to take care of it. But I always asked her, I said, I wish you would stop worrying about me. And you know what she would say? I love you so much that I can't. And then I'd feel awful. It's like, oh my God, she's probably the reason why there were times when things probably should have happened to me that didn't. She was praying. So I realized I didn't want her to stop. I wanted her to stop worrying. I didn't want her to stop praying. But what's something you want to stop doing today if you could? Because this is a very old quote from Aristotle. Aristotle said, what lies in our power to do lies in our power not to do. Another way of saying that is things that are easy to do are also easy not to do, right? It's easy to get up in the morning and check social media. And we're like professionals at it. All you do is just this. Just turn your phone on. I'm on Instagram in 5 seconds. But is it also easy to stop doing that? It actually is. And I love this. I love this saying too. If you aren't sure why you're doing something, you can never do enough of it. How do you know when you're done? When are you done checking social media or whatever it is, or surfing the web? So what if tomorrow you woke up, you spent the first 30 minutes going through your day, thinking about, what needs to happen right now, what can wait on your now list, what are the things that are really important to you, and then what are the piddly things? What if you spent the first 30 minutes thinking about what needs to happen in your own life, what needs to happen for your clients. And then focus on the big items. Do you think you'd have the capacity to do those things tomorrow? If you spent some time really thinking about what you wanted to do? Would you have a clear image of what your day looked like? I'm going to be doing these things today. And can you imagine what it'd feel like if you weren't stressed out about doing all the things you needed to do? You know, it's stressful out there. I know people are stressed. Your clients are stressed. It seems like there's so much to do. But I promise you, if you take time to break it down, some of these things we're worried about really aren't that important. They really don't matter, at least for that day. Maybe in the long run they do, but they don't have to all happen today. So I also want you to imagine if you didn't check your social media accounts in the morning or email each day before 9:30, how many friends would call you up and really notice? Some people do notice. I had someone text me a picture of an Instagram post that I liked, and you know what they said? Said, I started laughing at this, and then I saw that you liked it, and I laughed even harder. So sometimes they notice it, but you get my point is, no one's checking on your activity. We think people are checking everything that we do, but maybe something you want to stop doing today is being stressed about things that don't matter. To me, that's kind of the biggest thing. So what I want to challenge you to do is think how you would incorporate some of this into the next week. It's a holiday weekend. Who's going out of town for Labor Day? Only us? That's terrible. Does anybody?
Last week instead of this
Okay.
weekend.
Did anybody have plans to go out of town but couldn't? Nobody even wants to go on vacation anymore, do they?
I just figured everybody else was gonna go, so I didn't want to go.
So, you know, a lot of people are staying here. People don't want to travel. But, you know, we're not the only ones thinking about this. When you talk to your clients, there are things they've been thinking about doing. I want to live in a bigger house. I want to move out to the country. I want to move to the beach. You know, this is a great question to ask your clients too. And some of those 4 questions. Hey, have you ever dreamed about, you know, living somewhere else? Or where would you love to, when this is all over, you know, where would you see yourself living? People are thinking about things they want to be doing that they haven't. We talked about this last year when we were kind of in the middle of the pandemic, but now people think that this is kind of just going to be normal. You know, we're going to get booster shots every 6 to 8 months, which it's great. I mean, have y'all heard some crazy rumors about how this is going to continue? I mean, it's getting a little weird. So people are really thinking hard about, well, what's the stuff, if this is what it's going to be like, what do I really want to be doing with my time? Some people aren't going back to work. Fred was telling us on rental applications that a lot of people now are working for themselves from home. They started a business. So a lot of people have been thinking about this for a while, and that's how Alan and I wanted to bring it to y'all, is to challenge you to start thinking about things you want to stop doing so that you can get back to doing things you want to do. So many times we hear agents get into this business because they want to be able to do, I want to go to my kids' activities, I want to be involved in school, I want to do this. Well, then our day just gets filled up with stuff. And we realize, I'm not doing any of this stuff that I really wanted to be doing. And so we start to get stressed out. So just spend some time thinking about that. And if there's anything we can help y'all with, we'd be happy to. That's our challenge. Think about the business meetings we've had already. How's the market? Negotiate home plate. Those are so relevant. And maybe there's some things you'd like to stop doing, like negotiating with other buyer agents who don't get qualified contracts. There's tons of things we can stop doing to save some time. So I appreciate y'all being here, and I hope everyone has a safe and happy Labor Day, and that you get to do some things that you want to do this weekend. So, and if you're interested in the tickets, just come see me after this is over. So thank you all for being here. Alan, do you have anything else? Okay.
Jeremy, you know, I have that.